A car was speeding on the highway around 2 a.m. when it suddenly lost control and flipped over. The car skidded rapidly and crashes into a tree on the side of the road. Upon colliding with the tree, the car was heavily damaged and ended up completely overturned. Looking at the car, can you tell why it lost control? Comment your answer below. Pay close attention, both of the car's front tires are punctured, and one tire is severely burst. The driver somehow manages to break the front windshield and get out, but he was badly injured. The driver takes out his phone and makes a call. After that call, the driver also loses consciousness, but shortly after, two people arrive at the scene. They look inside and see Mr. Andrew and his two family members. They pull all three of them out, but unfortunately, they were already dead. The driver was still unconscious. Using a flashlight, they examine the road thoroughly and find sharp nails scattered all over it. They immediately realize that someone deliberately placed the nails on the road to cause the car tire to puncture and the accident. They call an ambulance, as well as the police and Detective Mehul. Mehul and Alia arrives at the scene immediately.
The police haven't arrived yet. They are late again.
Mehul starts observing the surroundings carefully.
Oh no, more accidents can happen here.
Can you guess why Mehul thinks this? Comment your answer below. The nails are still scattered on the road. Another car could get puncture and lose control. Alia starts clearing the nails while Mehul begins questioning the two people. One of the men says,
"Sir, my name is John and this is my younger brother Brain. Inside the car were my father, Andrew, and two family members. A little while ago, we received a call from the car's driver telling us that there had been an accident. So we came here."
Just then, the ambulance arrives, and Dr. Sanjana also reaches the scene and begins treatment of the driver. Mehul checks the three dead bodies carefully and immediately realizes that all three were murdered. Logical Army, why did Mehul think that all three were murdered? Comment your answer below. Notice carefully that all three people have the same mark on their necks. How can it be that after an accident, all three have exactly the same mark on their necks? This means that after the accident, someone gave them an injection.
Tell me the truth. Did any of your family members or your father have any conflicts or enmities with someone?
Sir, in Berg Old Town, there is a big dealer named Mr. Bosco. My father often had conflicts with him because Mr. Bosco was a partner in my father's company and frequently embezzled money.
We'll have to question Mr. Bosk at his house in the morning.
Mehul takes Mr. Bosco's address and contact number from John and heads towards Dr. Sanjana's lab. After a while, Dr. Sanjana, Alia, and Mehul arrive at the lab. The lab door is secured with a logical password. Gun, archer, sword, hand grenade. One of these is the odd one out. Can you identify which one is the odd one out? Comment your answer below. Among these, the sword is the odd one out because the other three can be projected from a distance, while the sword is used in close combat. The other three are projectiles, whereas the sword is a melee weapon. If you thought of something else, comment and let me know. Mehul presses the number 3 button, and all three of them enters the lab.
Mehul, you're smart. You solved it so easily.
That's why I'm a super detective.
Mehul leaves the dead bodies in the lab for Dr. Sanjana to research. Alia also stays to help Dr. Sanjana. Mehul quickly heads to Mr. Bosco's house. It was 4 a.m.
It's not the right time to enter the house right now. I'll have to wait here until morning. It's possible Mr. Bosco is involved in this accident. If so, he might try to flee from his house. I haven't slept all night, so I'll catch some sleep now.
Mehul points his car camera towards Mr. Bosco's house and goes to sleep inside the car. At 7 a.m., Mehul wakes up and immediately goes inside Mr. Bosco's house. At that time, Mr. Bosco is having tea and reading the newspaper.
I'm Detective Mehul. I'm here to question you about the murder of Mr. Andrew and his family.
Look, sir, I don't know anything about this accident. Even though I had conflicts with Mr. Andrew, I didn't kill him.
But Mehul immediately realizes that Mr. Bosco is lying and knows the whole truth. Logical Army, how did Mehul figure out that Mr. Bosco was lying? Mr. Bosco claimed he didn't know anything about the accident. but Mehul hadn't mentioned anything about the accident yet. So how did Mr. Bosco know that Mr. Andrew had an accident? This means he definitely knows the whole truth. But Mr. Bosco starts crying and says,
I don't know anything. I didn't do anything.
Uncle, shedding tears won't help. Tell me everything you know quickly.
Sir, last night at 12 a.m., I received a call from a man who said he would kill Mr. Andrew and that I would be blamed for his murder, because I often had conflicts with Mr. Andrew. But I thought someone was joking with me, so I went to sleep peacefully. Sir, I made a mistake.
If Mr. Bosco is telling the truth, it means the killer is someone else.
Mehul takes the phone number Mr. Bosco that rang him last night and traces it. The location points to Shivam Property Dealer.
Shivam Property Dealer is the name of our company.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. It means someone from your company is the killer.
Mehul immediately heads towards the Shivam Property Dealer company in his car. There are 3 routes from Mr. Bosco's house to the company. The first route passes by the railway tracks and takes 39 minutes to reach the company. But a train is scheduled to pass by in exactly 40 minutes. So, if Mehul is even a minute late, he'll have to wait. The second route goes through the metro area but takes 45 minutes due to heavy traffic. The third route is very long and takes 50 minutes. Which route should Mehul choose to reach the company in time? Can you tell which route Mehul will choose? Mehul will not choose the first route because even though the train is scheduled to pass in 40 minutes, the route is closed 5 to 10 minutes before the train arrives. Additionally, if the train is delayed, Mehul might have to wait a little long. Therefore, Mehul will choose the second route since the third route takes 50 minutes. Mehul reaches the company. Inside the company, there are 3 people present at the moment.
Call all the employees who work here.
Sir, this is a property dealing company, and we only have 3 employees here, including the owners Mr. Andrew and Mr. Bosco. Mr. Andrew should be arriving shortly.
Mr. Andrew will never come because he was murdered last night.
Oh my God, Mr. Andrew was such a nice person.
Death doesn't care who is good and who is bad. Besides, Mr. Andrew was murdered with careful planning, and I suspect that the murderer might be one of you 3.
Sir, you are falsely accusing us. We would never do something like this.
We'll find out who is right and who is wrong.
Mehul traces the same mobile number that was showing a location near the company, but the number is now turned off.
It seems the killer deliberately turned off the mobile number.
Mehul then questions the 3 individuals. The manager says,
Sir, last night I went to my nephew Rohan's wedding. Here is a photo of me at the marriage house.
The second company employee says,
Sir, last night I was at a party in my neighborhood. You can ask anyone there.
The third employee says,
Sir, last night I was at a hotel celebrating my wife's birthday. Here are some pictures from there.
After hearing all 3 individuals, Mehul realizes which one of them is lying. Can you tell which of the 3 is lying? The company manager is the one lying. The manager had said he went to his nephew's wedding, but if you look closely at the photo of the marriage house, it says Happy Birthday Rowan, which means the manager was lying. Mehul catches him and interrogates him.
Sir, I thought if I killed Mr. Andrew, the blame would fall on Mr. Bosco, and I would become the owner of the company. So firstly, I spread the nails on the road, and when the car overturned, I injected all 3 of them with poison.
You let greed drive you to murder 3 people. Now, sit in jail and continue running your company from there.
Case solved. Detective Mehul rocks.